So now that we've got the microphone switched on, let's continue with this. So let's go straight into the level. Hello to everyone tuning in. Kitsune Metal, good to see you. Wise Dragon 22, Movie Metalhead, as always, good to see you also. Dominator, perfect, there we go. So there's a little bit of lag already with this level. I think like the previous levels we were playing. Was that guy a civilian? I think he was. Or was he? No. Clap Douglas, this is running on the N64 console. So this is a brand new game. I'm using the EverDrive 64 to get this run. There's no carts of the actual game yet. I'm not sure if that's something the studio intend to do. But for now, you can actually play this. You can play it on an emulator if you want to. I've heard mixed results on the emulator. So I can't really comment as to sort of how that runs, to be honest. Oh, it's a scientist. So yeah, quite a lot of lag. A lot of people who have gone on and played other areas of the game, they talked about there are some points where the lag is especially noticeable. But these levels are absolutely huge. Dominator 1345 Mega. It runs okay. In terms of, you can probably see for yourself how the game runs. There is some lag in there. I wouldn't say that there's so much lag. It's just a little bit too much slowdown. I think that's partly down to how big the actual levels are, because the actual maps themselves are really, really big. But when you consider that this is a fan-made game, this is awesome. So again, you can see some graphical glitches there as well with some of the texture panels. It's not something that's ruining the game. But I think with a lot of these levels, compared to Goldeneye, you have got to do quite a bit of exploring. So whereas Goldeneye felt, some of the levels in particular, they felt quite linear. The levels I've experienced so far seem really sort of detailed and quite... Whoa. But generally speaking, the character models, the level of animation, it's all pretty good. I'm quite liking it. So having a quick catch up on the chat, Mark M says, "Hey Glenn, this looks fun. I cannot wait to play it, but waiting for my HDMI N64." Yeah, the Ultra HDMI is a cool device. If you can afford it and you can find somebody that can do the installation for you, then it's definitely a worthwhile investment. But as I said, if you remember the difficulties that I had trying to get hold of my copy, it's a lot of work. But if you're a big N64 fan, it's a pretty tough thing to That's another point as well. I think, if I remember correctly, when the on the very first live stream, one of the developers, ouch, one of the developers, he was in the chat and he was telling us that the enemies do regenerate. So it's not really the kind of game where you want to spend a considerable amount of time having to backtrack, because you are going to come across the same enemies. You've got to be really careful because there are so many enemies, and this level in particular, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of ammo knocking around. But not only ammo, there's not a lot of health. Like right now I could really do. Where did that guy come from? Okay, so someone was just shooting at me. Here he is. See, that's pretty good AI. You know, he was actually following to the location where I was, which for an N64 game is pretty good. Yeah, Wise Dragon, the camera will freeze from time to time. It's one of those things. I could really do with getting an upgraded Mac, especially for streaming. But it'll have to do for now. Oh, there's a lot of slowdown in this part. A lot of slowdown. But these levels are just so big. You know, when you consider these are all one environment, I think the console's struggling quite a bit to manage. It makes long distance shots like that quite difficult. Like this, for example. Yeah, I think I got him just there. Surfer Boy says the controller takes a while to get used to after so long with modern designs, but it's so iconic. It is, yeah. Especially if you're not used to the N64 controller. For me, it's not so bad because I obviously play N64 quite a lot. But for people that are not so much used to this. Okay, so we got one gold sample there. So this is sort of working towards, I think. See, that guy just came straight through the wall. That's not cool. You can see there that was an enemy that I took down before. So we have got some regeneration. But I do still have some gold bars which I apparently need to find. Okay, I'm not too sure where the gold samples are or if that was the only one. But I'm just going to have to try and carry on. Wow, this is a tough one. And this is only on agent difficulty, so that's the funny thing there, really. Wow. So yeah, it's not an easy game. Let's try this one again. So again, hello to everyone else who's been tuning in as we've been chatting. The chat room's in full swing. So again, I'll try to read out some more comments and messages as we're going along. But for now, I just want to try and see. Ooh, nearly. Never shoot the scientist. Is this guy going to follow me? Yeah, here we go. Gotcha. See, the levels, there is quite a lot of detail in them. The unfortunate thing is some of it, especially in the early levels, just seem like quite a lot of filler. And a lot of people who've gone on to actually review the game, they've mentioned these somewhat maze-like levels, which you can kind of get a feel of. One of the difficulties though is that a lot of people, I think when they're sort of playing the game, they're kind of used, or because they've played Goldeneye so many times, they can just breeze through the levels. And I think they sometimes forget exactly, you know, why they know the game so well and why Goldeneye is so straightforward, because they've probably played it on every different system, you know, with the re-release, the HD version, and all that good stuff. Okay, so this is kind of back where we started, so I need to go to the far corner. But yeah, I'd also love to know everybody else's thoughts. If you guys have played this game, if you went on to download it, and if you've given this a play, what your thoughts on it are. A lot of people will probably be further ahead in the game. I thought I had that guy. Wise Dragon 22 just picked up Paper Mario for the N64 and you paid $170. Is that US dollars or Canadian dollars? Or even Hong Kong dollars? I'm guessing US. But yeah, it just shows how much the price of, especially some of the more, I wouldn't say obscure, but some of the higher reviewing N64 games has got. You know, you only have to look at the sort of price that Conker's Bad Fur Day goes for. Oh, Wise Dragon 22 Aussie dollars. Yeah, that's a big difference. I'm not really up to the speed on the price of many of the Mario games. So, to be honest, that sounds quite realistic, especially in Australia. I know the Australian retro market is super expensive. You know, a lot of people here in the UK complain about the price of that retro games have got to here, but all you need to do is look at the prices people pay in Australia. It's a big difference. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in a cool country. Kitsune Metal, can I play Turok 2 on a live stream soon? I'll definitely consider it. One thing I'd really want to do is to play the HD remaster which came out on Steam. However, it's a PC only version at the moment, and as many of you know, I'm a Mac user, so unless they bring it out on the Mac port like they did with Turok 1, which is strange because I can't see that there's any plans. They did it with Turok 1 when they brought out the HD version of Turok 1. Sorry, a bit of carnage just there. Yeah, Hybrid Heaven's a game that I'd definitely like to stream. It's really strange because there's some games where I've got no interest in going back and revisiting or replaying them, especially not straight away anyway. But there are some other games which are definitely really high up on the list for games that I'd like to go back and just find time to play. I think a lot of the difficulty these times, especially with my own situation, probably like a lot of people watching, is their amount of time that they actually have available in their lives to be able to, especially when you're working or if you have a family, it can be quite difficult. Oh, really? This level is really tough. Okay, so really tough one. I would hate to see how difficult this game is on any of the higher difficulties. If this is the agent difficulty, can you imagine how tough this game would be on the higher settings? Favorite Tekken character? I'm not a big Tekken fan or player myself. I think Tekken 2 is the last one that I actually had any real amount of time with. I always like Yoshimitsu, but I think he's quite a technical or very difficult character, especially with all of his combos. I always remember it was quite a big effort to play as Paul all the time. Oh, there we go, choppy frame rate again. The insane amount of enemies in this is absolutely brutal. I mean, does there really need to be so many enemies? And this is almost like a labyrinth-like level. There just seems to be boxes after boxes. That was a bit cheeky. But let's go with the shotgun. Let's see what we can do. There's no way anyone's getting up from this shotgun. So I'm quite surprised we haven't seen more armor. Because this level is just brutal with the amount of enemies that there are. Okay, so we're trying to find these shipping records. I'm not sure if let me check actually if I've find the gold. Yeah, see. Even with the gold bar, it's a little bit difficult. So, either way I'm going to have to go back and try and find, I think, some more gold somewhere, but given how small the last gold bar was, I think it's going to be a bit of almost like a fetch quest, trying to find these bloody gold bars. Okay, let's try in here. Okay, so that's not a door. Okay, finally we found some body armor. It's not what I was looking for. I was looking for the shipping records, but at least we now know where some is, which hopefully is going to make this level a little bit easier to get polished off and finished. I think it's fair to say I'm not especially enjoying this level right now. These levels just seem like it's maybe been a little bit over-designed. Is anyone else kind of getting that feeling like this level's got far too much going on? I mean, technically, the fact they've got levels of this size on the N64 is unbelievable anyway, so technically this is absolutely sublime, but design-wise it's starting to become a little bit of a chore. Yeah, Sonic Badass, I'd kind of agree, I'm sort of done with this level. It's an interesting one, it's a bit like the original Goldeneye, you know, there's always going to be levels that you like and levels that just come across like filler. But this is just technically perfect, really, really cool. But in terms of gameplay, it's not really the most enjoyable level. Just the fact the enemies just keep coming. This is more like Brutal Doom than it is yeah, I don't know. I'm not even in the zone right now in terms of enjoying this. It's just could do with a little bit of a redesign. It's like I said, it's still fun, it's fan made, you know, you can't expect this sort of rare quality. Yeah, Wise Dragon 22, the levels are huge, as you've seen. You know, going from one side to the next is a big undertaking. But anyhow, I'd almost forgotten it's the weekend today. I've finished work early today. So I've actually been able to get home, and that's why I'm streaming a little bit earlier considering it's Friday. So what's everyone's plans for this weekend? We're entering a period, I always like this time of the year because there's so many new games which come out. Gran Turismo I think is out next week on PS4. I'm definitely looking forward to that, really big. Well, as you know, I like racing games, so Gran Turismo looks really, really promising. I think Mario as well. I think I saw Edge magazine had the first review, and they gave Mario Odyssey 10 out of 10. So Mario Odyssey's been one of the really interesting ones because, for me, I don't know, like I have literally zero interest in the Switch. So it'd be cool to know if people have Switch, what they make of it, if they regret their purchase, if they're pleased with it, or what you change with the Switch. Ma the Tin Man, today it's your birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Thanks for tuning in on the, I suppose, one of the best days of the year for you, so really appreciate you deciding to spend some of it with me. Kazdamit LA Noir Remastered. haven't even played the original LA Noire. It looks like the kind of game that I'd enjoy, but again, it's just finding that time. Really struggle these days. I'm also halfway through the next review as well. I was going to finish it off this afternoon, but I decided to stream this instead, a little bit easier. But yeah, this level is really starting to grate on me now. It's just so big, just trying to realise where, or find where everything is. And the number of enemies is just insane. Respawning. Just feels like I'm going around in circles. Which, if that happens, generally it's poor level design. Especially as well, like when you consider the fact from the objectives, I still haven't achieved any of the objectives. It's not even like I'm just searching around for like the last gold bar, or it's literally not fun. Yeah, so a lot of people, a lot of people in the comments talking about the SNES Mini Classic. Really interesting. What I find interesting, it's the same with the Nintendo Switch, is that here in the UK, if I wanted a Switch, I could go on Amazon, I can get one delivered within 2 hours. If I wanted a SNES Mini Classic, the same, everywhere is in stock. But yet when you look at the news outlets for like Japan, North America, you know, it looks like they're sort of out of stock everywhere. It looks like there's, you know, huge demand, but I don't know, maybe the UK is different, but you know, the stock availability is really good. Maybe it's just because people here are not so much interested or concerned. Well, that's the exit. Okay, so like now where? Let's see if I can actually... No. Yeah, the thing that really needs to be, unless they're going to make this level more easier to navigate, I think they're going to need to have some type of hint system, because this is just going round in circles. Especially on agent difficulty, it really should not be this difficult. You know, it should be a case of playing this with your playing this with my eyes closed, but no, this is painful. Brandon Joe's, yeah, this is legit. It's a home, not a homemade game. It's a fan made. The guys over at Goldeneye Vault. There's a really good community over there. They're the guys that were behind the awesome Goldeneye X, the Perfect Dark Goldeneye mod, which is really cool. Now that's a really cool piece of software, but this, it's a good idea, really cool idea. But it needs more work. I don't know. I'm lost completely in this level. Haven't got an absolute clue where to be going. And because of that, I'm losing interest really quick. Yeah, this is just not fun to play. I know, maybe I'm going to need to look at a map or something just to find where things are, because we've been playing this now for quite some time and it's just not... The fun factor's just going down dramatically. It's like when you get any brand new game, especially if you've not looked at reviews before, so if you buy a game without knowing what to expect, the first few missions were fun, but the huge size of the levels, the enemies just respawning, the maze-like levels, every level just seems to be just too long-winded. And yeah, technically it's great, but my interest is pretty much finished right now. So I'm going to end the stream there. I've lost all interest in playing GoldFinger 64. The levels are just too big. You know, it's I don't know, it's an interesting project. Some really good styling. You know, the whole storyline, the objectives are fitting with the game, but the levels have been pushed too large. There's too much detail in there, which makes the game run slowly, and also the objectives are just too tricky. You know, have it a more linear route through the level. You know, there's no harm in having a non-linear route, but you need to make it a bit clearer without having to keep looping around huge areas with respawning enemies with very limited health, especially on agent difficulty. So yeah, let me know in the comments anyway. Next time I will do a stream for another game. If you let me know what game you'd like me to do, we'll go back and we'll revisit more. But for this stream, that's all that I can bear for today. That's enough for GoldFinger 64. So have a good weekend, everybody. It was planned to be a longer stream, but I really just lost all interest in playing this game. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to do another live stream. I've got a couple of cool N64 related items that different places have sent in stuff. So I've got a couple of giveaways which I'm going to be doing soon. I've got a cool idea, so maybe over this weekend I'm going to do a live stream where I'm going to give away some prizes. It's going to be open all over the world, and if I can find time this weekend, then like I said, I'll give away some cool stuff on the channel. But if not, I'll aim to have another review up at some point this weekend, and let me know what game you'd like me to stream next. We'll pick a different game, one which is not quite as painful to play. So have a good weekend, everybody.